involved in business, or your father's business. You had to take it over.
Yes.
Now, what kind of things did you have to go through? I'm sure there was a lot of hardship because you had to step in at the time when there was, problems.
Yeah,
so
there were a lot of problems.
Tell us about some things that you had to do. Because as a son, many people in the Korean families have to do this, to step into their parents' business, right?
Yes. If the business was like a little 구멍가게, I don't think it would have been. It wasn't a huge business, but it was a business where it's like kind of in the middle of big and small. So, and I'm the only son, so I had to kind of, help him out and run it. And just unfortunately, just turns of events just happened throughout the region, and it was just not a good situation. So, and I was at a region where there was no jobs. Like after we closed down the business, there was absolutely no jobs there. So,
wow.
Yeah,
and was it in LA
El Paso.
or?
It was in El Paso, Texas. Yes, it was very difficult to get a job. Yeah, I don't know if that's another segment we need to talk about, but yeah.
No, yes, talk. We've got time.
Yeah. So after that, I was struggling a lot, and also because I had a family, I struggled a lot. But me being, I guess, a religious person knows that God was just always there, and it's just all part of His plan, I think.
Right.
And I learned a lot from that, and I just always know that He's just right there, like just pushing everything along. And, yeah. So, so after that tough time, we moved to. There was some other stuff that happened before that, but just going away. Slightly after that, I moved to a place called Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Where I met a few people that kind of, in a sense, changed my life and helped me out along the way. And so, right now, I reside in Austin, Texas. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And you created music.
Yeah, we have a label
company?
called Mandu Entertainment, which is kind of funny, but it's. People laugh, but they have fun with it, and if it becomes big like a YG or SM, then it doesn't matter. But even now, people laugh and they like the name, but we always say man do, that man can do it, like we can do it.
I see.
But it is mandu. Just all of a sudden, my partner Hyung said, "What do you think about mandu?" I think 양파 kind of did that. She was slicing onions, and he goes, "How about 양파?" It just became like that. Yeah. Yeah, that was the situation.
Yeah, we do have a lot of that in Korea, or olive or tomato and things like this. Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty interesting. There's so many things I want to ask you, and I know we're already, running out of time as it is right now, but we're going to go ahead to this next segment, and it's called Catch a Glimpse, and this is where we're going to get to see you in your mode of, with a piano or keyboard, and then in your mode of thinking, and as well as playing something for us if you'd like to.
Okay.
So here it is, Catch a Glimpse.
When I'm composing, usually before, I used to make the melody with my hands, with what I'm playing. For instance, anyways, I think that's why the songs that I write are kind of difficult for singers to sing, because I actually make the melody like a yeonju rather than like a song. Like for instance, these days I would just maybe play a chord and then just sing a melody that comes out from that. I'm not going to sing, but that's how, when you write like that, it's kind of a different perspective where it's more like lyric and melody oriented rather than, so the song becomes a little bit easier to sing, I guess, and that's kind of what I've kind of evolved to. Before I would just play something, and usually that turns into the melody. So that is something that I do as a composer. And so there's a recent song, the Mermaid song, that kind of goes like this.
Wow. It's almost seeing a different side of you. You know, because I've met you just recently, and I haven't seen you in your work mode on the piano. I've seen you in the studios, of course. But, yeah, so is this the comfort thing for you, piano?
Yes. The piano is a very big comfort for me. Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So this is why you requested we have a piano or a synthesizer.
Yeah, when you guys asked me to do a segment like that, I thought that would be the most appropriate.
Yeah, so that's you. So in your house, where would your piano be placed in your house?
Well, I have like a MIDI studio that has a piano, and I also have another piano in the living room. And yeah, it's placed... I have like a master keyboard with a studio setting where I write and produce and like arrange the songs. And then the other piano, I just kind of play a lot. I play a lot with my son also. I'm trying to teach him a little bit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, get him in the industry.
I don't know about that. But
How old were you when you first started playing?
I was in 9th grade.
Okay.
So I think maybe about 12 or 13. Yeah. And... you know, like most everybody, I started out classically, and I'm sure everybody can kind of relate to this. Unless, you know, they go all the way and major in piano, there's a lot of people who just take lessons and just hate it in a sense, because it was just all practice. I mean, every single person that I've ever talked to who, including my sisters, they just, you know, they just never went through it. It was just kind of like, yeah. And then with the piano, what happened with me is I actually hated it too, but then my aunt was having a wedding, and there's this like a little hymn, like a 복음성가 song that was in the background of the wedding. And I heard it, and I really liked that song, and I was able to get some music for it, like 악보. And I just tried to play it, and I was actually able to play it. It just sounded so good to me.
Wow.
And so after that, I couldn't put it down. And it wasn't classical. It wasn't classical, but I just started composing, and I just couldn't put it down. Like during my high school years, sometimes I would like play like all night, where it'll kind of affect me school-wise, and just composing, and I just couldn't put it down after that. And,
well, here's an interesting question. What's probably the worst music you've ever composed?
Worst
Why?
music?